This is Tuesday, July 5th. There are 15 days until San Diego Comic-Con 2016. Welcome to SDConCast, the official podcast of the San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog.
VANUHTEE go. Oh my god, I love Live Journal, and my Live Journal loves me.
Good evening. I am your host, James Riley. Joining me on the podcast tonight, Carrie Dixon, working weekends. Why?
You know why? Because of this site.
Also joining me is Kim Twombly, thoroughly Trekkie training the tyke.
Indeed.
I think
She's
that's
being trained.
She has no problem being trained in with her parents. Okay, so we're basically just going to do news, and we're going to take some questions later in the show, or as we go, if something comes up. So tweet us at SD_comic_con, use the hashtag SDConCast, or use the Google Plus Q&A option. All right. Woo! So we are ready to go on the news, and first up is Dark Horse. Actually, let's do Carrie first with Funko. Go ahead, Carrie.
Oh, I don't even have it open. Okay, well, Funko announced most of their exclusives at this point. I believe they have one more wave to come, likely tomorrow. But in the last wave, they announced things like an Indiana Jones pop. They announced that BB-8 that's doing the thumbs up, which looks pretty cool. They announced some different things. You can find all that information. I'm fairly certain we covered this last week, but the big news is basically that they're for sure doing sales pavilion ticket distribution, which is what I've been saying since, like, what, November?
Yes.
Yeah,
you have.
So they are for sure doing sales distribution. CCI even confirmed it on their site late last week. Funko still has yet to officially announce, and I am pretty sure we discussed this last week, but because I still had a ton more people questioning me on Twitter, I'm going to go over it one more time. So the way that this is going to work is Thursday through Sunday, you're going to head up to sales and you're going to get a ticket in order to get the exclusives at their booth. What we do not know is how that ticket's going to work. We don't know if it's going to be timed. We don't know if it's going to, like, go first come, first serve, or if you're going to have to draw to even see if you're a winner. We don't know that information. But Thursday through Sunday are all going to be sales. Wednesday, however, just like with Hasbro and all the other people who do sales distribution the rest of the week, there is no sales distribution on Wednesday. Instead, their booth is going to be first come, first serve, but they have already given out 100 wristbands to get to their booth to their Funko Fanatics board members. You had to meet certain criteria, so it's not like anybody could just have signed up. You had to, like, have a certain amount of points on their boards, things like that. So what that means is that preview night, there are already 100 people who can get to Funko's booth ahead of you. So if it were me, and there was something that I wanted that was not going to be available online anyway on Thursday morning, I would not hit up preview night. I would wait for sales. So that's Funko.
There you go. And the announcement tomorrow, they said there was definitely going to be an announcement Wednesday. So there is one tomorrow, but it's not like an official wave. They said it was like a bonus, or it's going to be information. So it may be the sales ticket information.
It may also be their signing, because they do a signing every year.
Where they're signing. So.
Oh, like Brian Fuller last year?
Yeah. So
yeah.
There's some kind of an announcement tomorrow. So Dark Horse announced their exclusives as well, and those include a Hellboy in Hell Volume 2 exclusive hardcover, $40, limited to $1,400. There is a Black Hammer #1 exclusive variant, a Conan the Slayer #1 wraparound variant, a BPRD Zippo lighter, a flask, a Game of Thrones Night King bust silver edition, that's limited to $200, it's $150, a Halo Covenant Banshee ship replica gold edition, and a Snoopy Quee mystery figure gold edition.
For $3. For $8?
$8.
Is it 8?
It's 3-inch. Yeah, it's $8.
$8. Still though, that's super cheap.
And it's a gold Snoopy.
Yeah.
And then a Frank Frazetta the Destroyer lithograph, and that is all of Dark Horse's exclusives. So they have limits on the per person per day, 1 or 2 for the most part, and most of their stuff is limited to less than a few hundred. So if you want some of that stuff, make sure you get it. They just do at-booth sales, correct? They don't do any lines, sales, nothing?
Right, yeah. It's just first come, first serve at their booth.
Okay. So there's that. And next up, we have Kim with Gentle Giant.
Gentle Giant. And they also do first come, first serve at their booth, correct? That's what I remember
Yes.
from past years.
Yes.
Carrie knows everything. So they, Comic-Con International kind of announced their whole lineup, and their pieces are always pretty amazing. There's a Captain Phasma this year, a Warcraft bust of, what's the character name, Durotan, mini bust, a Rocket Raccoon that is kind of animated style Rocket Raccoon, and Secret Wars, Spider-Gwen, what is this, a 3-pack of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, kind of 70s style micro figures. And then what I thought was Zeb from Star Wars Rebels, because I watch that all the time, but it's actually the Ralph McQuarrie Chewbacca concept, since they based Zeb on that, and that was announced today.
They do look really similar, don't they?
What's that?
They do look really similar when you actually look at them.
Yeah, that's what. Well, I mean, Zeb is based on this concept of Chewbacca.
I did not know that. That's pretty awesome.
So that's what I thought it was originally. But yeah, so it's a Chewbacca concept. And as always, the pictures are on the blog site, so you can scroll through them and see all the details, and it looks really neat.
Gentle Giant always does some cool stuff.
Yeah, and that retro, like those Megos and the larger versions, that's kind of like the thing where they're doing those jumbos and
Yeah.
stuff. So that's like their thing now.
Yep.
Skybound?
Yep. Skybound is also bringing a bunch of really cool stuff this year. We've already talked about some of it, but what they've announced in the last couple days is all their comic variants, and then what I thought was pretty cool was they also announced a Saga Lion Cat statue, which looks pretty gosh darn cool. And then they also announced The Walking Dead bracelet, which they did earrings or a necklace last year. I can't remember which, but either way, it's kind of cool that you can go get some Walking Dead jewelry, and the bracelet is also it resembles Lucille, so that's pretty cool.
Sweet.
I like the Lion Cat. I like the Lion Cat figure. I'm a big Saga fan.
I think a lot of people are. I think all the Saga stuff this year is going to be huge because those action figures, I feel like, have been like one of the most tweeted about exclusives this year, by far.
Talking about those. All right, so Hasbro also has a couple more exclusives coming to the con, and last week they announced that the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Discord and Fluttershy toy set would be coming. That will be $50. It looks really cool. It's got a little display case for the packaging, so that's pretty awesome. And then they also announced that they would be making a Black Series Obi-Wan and Kylo Ren with unmasked Kylo Ren with the Darth Vader helmet, but that the Obi-Wan would be SDCC exclusive and the Kylo Ren would be Star Wars Celebration Europe exclusive. But then today, they made a new announcement that the Kylo Ren would also be available at San Diego Comic-Con. So Comic-Con gets both Black Series exclusives.
So let's talk about this for 1 second, because I'm assuming that some people had the same thought that I did. Back at Toy Fair, Hasbro announced that we were going to get the first Rogue One exclusive at Comic-Con, and maybe we still are. Maybe there's going to be something else Star Wars, but a lot of people, including me, were kind of confused last week when they announced that Obi-Wan figure, because obviously that's very much not Rogue One. Just a little bit. So I kind of feel like them adding on the Kylo Ren is their way of saying, like, yeah, this isn't quite what we had planned, but we're going to throw in some extra stuff. I mean, maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe they just looked at their inventory and were like, oh, we have 1 billion extra Kylos. Like,
my theory is that they realized that for how many tickets they've sold to Star Wars Celebration versus how many Kylo Rens they made, they're like, oh, maybe we should sell this somewhere else.
I think that's entirely possible. But, yeah, not really sure we're still getting a Rogue One figure from them, unfortunately.
It'd be cool if we did.
It would, and they've still got a ton of stuff to announce. Like they always do a gym. They always do. Oh Lord. They haven't officially announced like the Transformers full set, the Titan Force. There's a bunch of stuff they haven't announced.
So basically, wait, what have we been saying? It's going to be madness the last 2 weeks. Also, our buddies over at Super 7 announced some exclusives. So, Kim, why don't you handle that?
Yeah, yesterday, Action Figure Insider had the scoop on Super 7's 18-inch Alien Warrior figure that's designed to look like a prototype similar to the 1979. Oh, and I've got sound playing on our website as I'm trying to read it. I think last week, I don't know if you guys talked about this, but they've got the collector's token, the He-Man token that allows entry into their shop on, I think it's 8th Avenue.
Yeah, and they haven't announced many details about that. All they've basically said is you need the token again to get in. But Skeletor's lair is definitely back.
Skeletor's lair, and Skeletor's lair never really left, so they've always been there since last year. But, whether or not they dress it up and make it kind of cool again, they probably will for the con. And the tokens are neat. I think I have mine from last year.
Yeah. So there have been so much exclusive news. So much exclusive news. We had exclusives for everyone from Entertainment Earth, who I didn't even check today to see if they posted one, so they probably did, so I probably need to go update that when this is over. Beast Kingdom, Blizzard, Viz Media, DC Entertainment, Udon, Bluefin, ThinkGeek, Toonami, Upper Deck, Quantum Mechanics, Peanuts, 3D Lighting Innovations, also known as 3D Light FX, Penguin Random House, Action Lab Comics, Boom Studios, Funimation, Loungefly, Diamond Select Toys, Alex Ross, Titan, DKE, Factory Entertainment. We could go on. We really could. But you can find all that information on our site. There's a ton of really cool stuff. My suggestion is always, we have those categories. Just go click on the exclusives category. Unfortunately, if you don't look for a couple days, it can be a little overwhelming. But
it's also very functional. So if you know that Funko is producing something, but you're not sure what it's called, just type Funko, find the Funko exclusives for 2016 post, click on it, and scroll until you see what you're looking for.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like, on that same note, a lot of times you'll find stuff that you maybe didn't know, like Funimation. They're actually the one who are bringing that Dragon Ball Z, is it Beezerus? Is that?
Sounds familiar, yes.
I don't know if that's how we pronounce it, but the purple cat guy, they're bringing him. So that's not even going to be at the Funko booth. That'll actually be at the Funimation booth. But there's all kinds of like little hidden gems that maybe you don't know about, including my personal favorite, Patrick Ballesteros, who we've had the privilege of unveiling most of his, no, I think all of his Comic-Con exclusives this year, and there's still more to be announced. So
the Up one today was adorable.
I know. I love his stuff.
Well, let's just, I mean, you basically just have to wait and see if he makes one that's not super adorable.
Right.
I know.
I don't think it'll happen. I have some sitting right up here.
Awesome.
I'm not going to lie, getting a commission from him this year, I think it's the best decision I've made for San Diego Comic-Con 2016.
Wow.
Are you going to share the theme, or is that a surprise?
The theme of my commission?
Yes.
I can. It's Tony and Steve trying to get into Comic-Con, and they're showing Hulk their badges, but he's dressed as a security guard, and he's going like, "No, you're not getting in." So
awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
Oh, okay, we did see that. I didn't realize that was your commission. Oh,
yeah, that's
adorable.
my commission.
I love it so much.
I do too.
All right.
So, Carrie, it's the year of the Trek. So, what else is coming up for Star Trek this year? Because we've had a bunch of announcements.
Yes, we have. So the big announcement today is that in Hall H on Saturday, there's going to be a Star Wars Celebrating 50 Years panel, which is going to have William Shatner, Jerry Ryan, Michael Dorn, Brett Spiner. I don't have the post open, so I'm hoping that's everyone. Brian Fuller is going to moderate it. It's going to be really cool.
So to interject and say, Comic-Con programming staff, close, but no cigar. That's not getting me into Hall H this year.
That's okay. That's okay. When we finish talking about panels, I want to take a moment to talk about something. So remind me, because I will forget. But there's a ton of other really cool Star Trek panels. You should check it out in our posts. There's like the Trek Talks, which is kind of their science-y educational stuff. A couple of them are joint ventures with NASA, which is really cool. Yeah, just go check it out. There's some cool stuff. And the rare and very seldom talked about photo ops at Comic-Con. What? Lightspeed Fine Art, they're about the only people who do photo ops at Comic-Con, and they are actually going to be doing photos with William Shatner, Brett Spiner, and Michael Dorn. So it's going to be about the only opportunity you have to get an actual photo op at the convention.
Delphi, out on 4th. No?
What?
Just the way you said that, it's hilarious.
So.
Okay, we're going to move on because our insanity is draining. Our sanity is draining. So, also announced today, last week, HBO and Cinemax returning with, of course, Game of Thrones. I know there's a lot of people that won't miss that. Plus also Silicon Valley, which I love, is my show to come down from Game of Thrones with this past season.
I love it too.
I love it. And then Vice Principals and Outcast, which I don't know much about, but there's a lot of good buzz for Outcast.
Well, and Outcast is also Skybound, so
Right.
it's based on Skybound, so that's not shocking that it's back. This is kind of a big deal, though. This is the first time in several years, like, that HBO has brought something a little bit off the wall.
Which one's off the wall?
Silicon Valley and Vice Principals? I mean,
Like comedy.
Yeah, it's more
and
comedy.
series, yeah.
Normally, it's just been like Game of Thrones, or it used to be Game of Thrones and True Blood. That's about as Comic-Con as you can get.
Yeah. Well, I would assume Silicon Valley is as well because it's full of a bunch of geeks and nerds, right?
Yeah, it is. But it's been around for several years, and they haven't brought it yet. So it is actually kind of a big deal that they're bringing it this year.
Yeah. And also, I mean, that they're doing a lot to promote it, too. I mean, a lot.
Yes, they are, which we will talk about here in a minute.
But first, it looks like we are definitely getting a Power Rangers movie panel because last week Becky G, in an interview, said that she'll be going to her first Comic-Con. And then today, we had Decray Montgomery, I hope I said his name right, who is the Red Ranger, tweeted, or I say Instagrammed a picture and said, see you very soon, Comic-Con. So I'm guessing that's kind of an obvious thing that they're getting a panel.
I think so. Okay, I changed my mind. Let's talk about this now.
Okay, we're talking about it now.
We're talking about this now. So, every year, basically the entire reason this site is still around is we put together, like, of what's announced, here's what's in Ballroom 20, and here's what's in Hall H. So let's take a second and kind of, like, talk about the gaps and what we think is going to go where. And, of course, I don't actually have this open, so I'm clearly winning. Do you have it open?
I am there now.
You're there.
I wasn't
Right.
either. All right.
Your computer is clearly working better than mine, so you start talking.
Okay, so on Thursday we know that Valerian is in Hall H from 1 to 2 p.m. and that's it.
So that leaves
so
a whole lot of open space.
And that'll be the oddball stuff, maybe. Maybe some TV gets put in there like it did last year.
I think we still have DreamWorks because back in April when The Wrap reported that Fox wasn't coming, they said that DreamWorks was, and they were going to be bringing Trolls. So I think that will be first on Thursday morning. And then the real question to me is, how many more movie studios do we have to be revealed? Lionsgate is 100% coming. They're going to bring Power Rangers and who knows what else, but they're coming. I think, to me, we know that Sony's not. We know that Universal isn't. To me, the biggest question at this point is Paramount. If Paramount comes...
Star Trek, so they are already planning on having all of their people there, at least the
right.
production side. So why not use them and make use of them being there and bring more? Yes.
So I think one of those is going to be slotted on Thursday. I don't know which, but I think one of those is going to be Thursday. On Friday, it's pretty busy already in there. We've got Con Man, Fear the Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, and then there's a break between probably about 3:30 until 6:30, and then at 6:30 is Preacher. So what do you think, James? Does that mean that Star Wars is definitely not coming? Does that mean that there's still potential for Star Wars to come?
That's the slot they were in last year, was at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So it's still possible until we get the schedule in 2-3 days.
3 days, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I until they say no, I mean, I'm going to assume that they're bringing something because Star Wars is always at Comic-Con.
Yep. So we've got a big slot there to fill, and then on Saturday morning in Hall H, I'm just going to assume it's WB because it's always WB. And we'll have always, yeah. So we'll have Suicide Squad, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the Lego Batman movie, Kong Skull Island. I'm assuming some stuff from Wonder Man and Justice League as well. So that's going to be a really packed panel. And then, depending on what time that is, there may be something in between, or maybe there's not. But then from 2 to 3, we've got that Star Trek Celebrating 50 Years panel. And then I am assuming 5:30 to 6:30 is Marvel, because that's the time slot they've always been in Hall H. And it would work out perfectly, because then at 7 is the annual Kevin Smith panel.
So I think there's actually 2 slots open on Saturday, and that's after WB but before Star Trek, and then between Star Trek and Marvel.
Yes, I think so as well. So what's going to go there? Is it going to be more TV? I don't know. I don't know at this point where Lionsgate goes.
I think if Lionsgate is trying to get in and not worried too much about being drowned out, then yeah, they're going to be put in there to get the most eyeballs on it and to be a part of the day. If they want to have their own thing and not be overshadowed, they'll probably be on Thursday.
Haven't they been Thursday the last couple of years?
It's been Thursday usually, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's still very potential. So there's still several holes. There's also still several holes in Ballroom 20, but I won't bore you with that. But this to me is super fun, like playing like piece the schedule together.
And then we all get our answers starting in 2 days.
I know, I'm ready. But we have some more panel announcements that we've already heard about. Like Starz is going to be bringing American Gods, which is awesome. You're going to get Neil Gaiman and Brian Fuller and Ian McShane all on a panel together. That's pretty freaking awesome. However, it will be in room 6 BCF, so good luck getting in. Ash versus the Evil Dead is also coming back. They will also have a, what's the offsite called? Ash versus Evil Dead cabin over in the Petco Park Interactive Zone, and they will also be doing a signing over there. So
that's one of the very few things we know so far about the Interactive Zone, but we should get more information about that soon.
Soon. Everything is soon.
Soon.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about Fantastic Beasts coming to Comic-Con, but we already kind of mentioned it. But yes, Fantastic Beasts will be at Comic-Con this year. So
with footage.
With footage. That's what was announced last week, so expect it. We're assuming it's going to be during the WB block on Saturday morning.
There's no way it's not.
They could just mess with us this year and just be like, no, we're going to mess everything up. No. But actually, let me take a question here real quick on the Q&A because they mentioned something that we forgot, and that is Bradley Gorin said, I think one of those Hall H Saturday panels will be the Women Who Kick Butt panel. It's kick-ass. You know, we get to say it.
I've heard several people say that today. I think that's likely. I would like to point out that all the Entertainment Weekly panels have all moved rooms like over the years, so it's not like
the Women Who Kick Ass has been in Hall H for 3 years in a row, though. I think.
Has it?
I think it's been 3 years, maybe 4.
I at least 2. 3 sounds like a while to me, so that'll probably be one. But I'm always hesitant to say like those are for sure in one room, just because like. Yeah. I've been in a fan favorites panel in Indigo, you know. So. And
Bradley also mentioned the Saturday animation panel. Last year it was on Friday, because it was when I was in there for Star Wars, and they started the day off with animation. I'm pretty sure. So again, that may move. So there may be some panels that are coming back that are now being shifted around as they need to make room for other things.
Yep.
But yes, forget the Women Who Kick Ass panel is typically in Hall H. On Saturday.
Yes. Like I said, to me, the biggest question at this point is basically, is Paramount coming? And I've heard a crazy rumor that they might be bringing Baywatch. I have no proof of that, but I will point out that David Hasselhoff is in town, and they're nominated for a Phantom Award, which kind of like pings my little Comic-Con radar. So, who knows?
And you know, Zac Efron totally has geek cred for playing young Simon Tam in Firefly a decade ago.
Young Simon Tam! Yes! That's what I always call him when I see him.
That's
young
funny.
Simon Tam.
All right, Kim, tell us about some more Hall H panels.
So AMC, we did already talk about The Fear the Walking Dead, and followed by The Walking Dead on Friday in a Hall H, and then later on in the evening is the new Preacher. Which is going to be a live stage reading of the, sounds like the season finale, if penultimate season 1 episode means season finale, which is kind of neat because you don't see that often. I think I went to a SpongeBob panel where they did a stage reading, and it's just super cool to see the actors up there just reading their lines. So I'm not sure if the finale will have aired by then, though, or if it's going to be before the finale. So that would require some research that I can't do right now. But, you know, that's kind of something that would be very neat to see. And Hall H at that time of day should be easy to get into, right?
Yes, very easy.
It should be.
So for the most part, I've said this before on Twitter, for the most part, we're not going to be answering any what time should I line up questions until our panel podcasts. And it's solely because when you look at, like, what time should I line up for this panel, you have to look at the whole picture of, like, what is in this room. Like, let's just say they throw Star Wars after Preacher. Not going to happen, but let's just say in a theoretical world they do that. So we could sit here and say, yeah, Preacher's going to be a walk-in panel, but if they throw Star Wars in after that, suddenly it's totally not.
So if the likelihood that they had their panel time from last year, then they would be before Preacher. So
yes.
In that case, walk right on in.
Walk right in. Yes. But that's just why we don't really answer those questions until we get like the full schedule. But we will be doing our panel podcast on Friday nights to cover Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then Sunday at some point to cover Saturday and Sundays.
Yes. That's going to be a blast.
Yes. And real quick, Bradley Gorin just said, speaking of Rogue One, last big question as to whether there will be a panel. My question is if they were going to have one, they would have already announced. Maybe. I would like to point out again that technically NBC, Sci-Fi, Cartoon Network, and a whole slew of other people who we are point-blank positive are going have not announced their panels. So it's not really that uncommon for people to announce their panels super late, most unfortunately. I was joking with somebody earlier today on Twitter that Orphan Black once announced 20 minutes before CCI announced the panel schedule. So, good times. Also, it wouldn't really be the case on this one, but the movies, for the most part, announced super late. In fact, most of the studios announced their panel slate well after CCI announces. So when those panels start going up on Thursday, you might see, like, Lionsgate, TBA. So that's unfortunately not uncommon.
The favorite ones are, instead of TBA, it's like, Lionsgate will bring you an exciting selection of their current movie slate. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Actually, I also think that even in this case, Celebration happening the week before may also be limiting what their activities are at Comic-Con, even on the PR side, where they're not really concentrating on it. They're getting all the messages out about Celebration, and they may not announce the Comic-Con panel until the Comic-Con schedule goes up this week, or even not even into. They may just be a Lucasfilm panel, and they'll announce that it's going to be Rogue One, which everyone will assume it is if they put a Lucasfilm on the schedule. But they may not announce it until after Celebration.
We shall see on Friday.
Yes, indeed.
There's a ton of other panels, though. You can find well over 200 panels on our panel post, everything from NBC's Grimm, Timeless. They're also bringing a sneak peek of Emerald City, MTV's Teen Wolf. Luke Cage is coming, Netflix is coming, but they're not bringing Sense8, so clearly I prayed to the wrong Netflix god. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a whole bunch of stuff. Shout Factory, Steven Universe. Do you want to mention anything about Shout Factory, Kim?
That what I don't know what. That because of them we know something? Is that what?
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
Because of Shout Factory's press release, we do know that Nerdist Carnival will be returning to Petco Park. So we announced that late last week, I think it was. It's all blending together at this point. But they called it Camp Carnival, so I'm wondering if it's not going to have more of a, camping theme this year.
Might. It's going to be interesting.
So
but
hopefully we're here
soon.
No other official announcement about Carnival, though.
Soon. Everything is just soon.
So that's, Geek. I mean, I was only there briefly last year with it's Geek and Sundry and I think their umbrella company, Legendary. But there was so much to do, so it's and definitely something that if you have nothing else going on or can't get into something, just wander over to Petco because you can get in, look at all this stuff. There's panels, much like Nerd HQ has. So it's a lot of fun. If assuming that they have the same setup as last year.
Yep.
Plus, there were Lego dinosaurs, and you could recreate the Jurassic World.
It's true. All right. Sorry, real quick. I want to take a couple questions since we talked about panels. Mike Nelson asked, what do we think will be in Hall H instead of the WB-TV shows? Late night block from the last 2 years. Will the room really sit empty? I think yes. I think that there's not normally panels that late because they were normally like, 8 to 10, right, James? Ish.
Last year, the WB stuff went till like after 11.
Yeah. So I don't think anything else could possibly fill that room that late. I don't know why they've opted to go to Ballroom 20 instead. I'm sure there are reasons, but I don't think anything's going to replace it.
None of the stars wanted to be out on a panel when they could be out partying on a Saturday night.
This is probably about 99% accurate.
I mean, you see some of the people in the pictures, they're all dressed up like they're ready to go out. It's like, let's get this over with. We got partying to do.
It's true. It's very true. All right, let's talk about some more things. What got announced today that's pretty cool, James?
Today, they announced that there would be a unveiling of a 75th anniversary Captain America 13-foot bronze statue at Comic-Con this year. We don't know exactly where, but obviously the choice spot would be the Marvel booth inside the convention center.
I feel like it has to be. Like, they always have some kind of setup. Like, last year they had, like, one of the Guardians of the Galaxy pods. I feel like it'll basically go there.
Yeah,
they don't really do, like, off-site stuff.
No. And so it's going to be on display there. And then after it is on display there, it's moving to Brooklyn in Prospect Park in August.
Which is awesome. I think that's really cool.
And I'm going to see exactly how to get the best photo. This is now my photo. One of my photo gets of the year is to get an awesome photo of Captain America statue.
I'm pretty excited about this one. I'm not
Wherever it may be.
Wherever it may be.
I still think it has to be Marvel booth, but yeah. Kim, what else got announced today?
Offsite. We had our official Comic-Con International announcement of a bunch of their kind of officially sanctioned offsites, a lot of which we knew about already, but they posted the times and a few more details that we didn't have. Like Amazon, we knew something was going in, but now we know it's going to be Man in the High Castle and Thunderbirds Are Go. And these are all just little areas where you can go have little experiences. Sometimes there's VR things that you can wait in line for, like FX last year. They're returning, correct? Yes.
Yes, they are. And they'll have
exhibition.
Some American Horror Story stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so like FX last year was pretty amazing. Different little activations within their area, and it kind of sounds like they're going to be doing that again. American Horror Story VR experience, a sculpture garden, custom chair exhibit. Yes. And we love our couches and chairs, you know.
We really do. We're actually not kidding.
Serious business.
Yeah.
NBC will be taking over that Gaslamp Square area and the Tin Fish, like in past years. It's going to be Emerald City. The Tin
And
Fish.
Timeless. Yep.
And
they're going to have a Timeless ride.
yeah, so like they've had a little setup. Dracula. What was it last year? Constantine. Was that last year?
No, it was Heroes.
Heroes. Thank you. It all gets mixed up in there. So as long as you don't mind waiting in line, those are usually, really neat. In South Park 20, we finally know a little more about that. And the times, I can't go through all these. The Neil deGrasse Tyson Space Odyssey at the Hilton Spa is one that we didn't know
VR
about.
thing. Yeah, I didn't totally understand that, but it sounds kind of cool. And in NASA, like part of that, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, NASA's Journey to Mars. So again, this was posted. Carrie posted this morning. So go through, and it's also in our offsite list.
Yes.
Check out all the things. Adult Swim, Comic-Con HQ was announced. More on Entertainment Weekly's ConX. So there's kind of concert stages to the north and south of the convention center.
Yeah, and the one thing I did want to point out real quick on this list is the last 3 years running, CCI has announced on this annual list the Game of Thrones offsite, but weirdly it's not on there this year. But Game of Thrones tweeted the other day that the Hall of Faces that was in South by Southwest is coming to the convention, so I'm very much assuming it's back at its usual place, usual time. Yeah.
Right, and if you want to get spoiled on what the Hall of Faces contains, just search for South by Southwest Hall of Faces, and you can see all the awesome photos of what we can expect.
Yes. And that wasn't even all of the offsite news today. We also learned that True TV's Impractical Jokers are coming back. They're going to be taking over Dick's Last Resort for their Impractical Jokers Hall of Fame, I believe. And then they're also going to have a block party in the park at Petco Park, which is basically like that little grassy area nearby. They're going to have a block party that's going to have crazy stuff. It's going to have food. It's going to have sumo wrestling. You can go ride a mechanical bull. It sounds nuts. But that will be Saturday night. So if you like Impractical Jokers, there you go.
And we also had last week the first announcement from Conan of what guest he was bringing, which would be the cast of Suicide Squad and Silicon Valley will be some of his guests. So for those of you who were not sure whether or not there would be cast for Suicide Squad showing up, there's your answer.
There will be. They've already announced some. Will Smith and Margot Robbie are both going to be there. I feel like those are the only two we officially know. Jared Leto gave a very hint, wink answer when asked if he was going. So yeah, there will be cast.
I thought it was cool that they're doing the Bel Rev hospital at or whatever, all that
At
stuff
the Hard Rock.
at the
Yeah.
Hard Rock, but they also announced in the off-site list that the Batmobile would also be showing and some Justice League stuff, I think. So they're actually expanding beyond just the Suicide Squad. That kind of got buried at the bottom of the list, I think.
It did, but it'll be cool. They're doing Heroes Park. Yeah, it should be good. It's not at the Bayfront lawn though,
Right.
which is like so weird to me.
It's actually kind of it's right near the NBC. If I'm reading this right, it's right behind the Omni, which is kind of it's not hard to get
Yeah.
to, but it's like the train tracks are kind of in the way.
Yeah, it's like off the beaten path.
So but back there, you should be able to find the Batmobile. So
I know. I'm like,
it's
what
worth the trek.
what has WB done to like lose their prime spot? I don't know.
But there was a bunch of other stuff, including the Woods screening. If you sign up to be informed when Sci-Fi Presents Live from Comic-Con, tickets are available. That's for badge holders only, but you can sign up for free tickets.
Available soon.
It is standing room only, so I guess when they're filming, everyone's going to be standing in a crowd. The Final Girls ice cream truck will be on hand somewhere. I think they're doing a screening as well. And the Hello Kitty Cafe will be back.
At Petco Interactive Zone, which is about the only other thing we know going there. I am still holding out hope that also at the Petco Interactive Zone will be my Mr. Robot Ferris wheel.
Oh, please.
Come on, USA. Come on. That's all I want. Oh, okay.
For weeks now, so months. So let's go.
Indeed. Let's take some questions.
Alrighty. Let's take one off Twitter that came up earlier tonight from David Norwood. Does AMC typically have their autographed ticket drawings at their booth or in sales?
At their booth.
Okay, at their booth.
Rapid fire. We can do this.
It's really just the question carry portion of the evening. So I'm just gonna
Yeah. For the most part, the only people who do anything up in sales are Fox and WB. Now, it depends on where they're signing, but like there are some things like Teen Wolf always signs at the Fox booth, so those are actually ticketed at the Fox thing up in sales. HBO always signs at the WB booth, so those are ticketed up in sales. So you got to kind of think of it that way. But basically, beyond those two, any signings are going to be at the booth, and unfortunately, every booth has their own individual rules, and no two are alike. We do have our annual list of autographs up this year. You can find that information on our site. Lisa runs that. She does an awesome job. We try really hard to post how each booth does it, but unless the company announces, there's not a ton we can do. But those will be at the booth, at the AMC booth. But the Fear the Walking Dead one is actually off-site at the
Abigail?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that'll be, that sounds like that's a boat in the marina. So that'll be, it's a yacht. So that'll be behind the convention center.
Truthfully, like, I feel like whoever came up with that was like, guys, I'm a genius. We're going to have an off-site, and it's going to be a boat that we don't have to build.
You just park it.
Save so much money, guys. Yeah. So A+ to that PR person.
It seems like if it's the boat from the show, it's kind of large, but I would think that would have a pretty good line, especially when they're doing the autographs. So
yeah,
keep it in mind.
I think so too. Give us another question, James.
Another question. Okay, Mike asked, do you think we'll get the Assassin's Creed obstacle course again in the Gaslamp Park, or will we finally get something new?
Ubisoft said that they announced the cosplay photo shoot, and they said that they had more off-site announcements. So I think we're getting something. I don't know that we're going to get that, but it seems relatively likely. That's all I got.
Okay. What else?
What else? We already answered that.
we answered this one, but let's answer it again because then we can tell everyone. When will you be going over the published schedule from Scott Mueller? That will be Friday at 6:30 Pacific, and then Sunday probably right around the same time, maybe a few hours earlier. We will do live broadcasts just like this on Friday and Sunday, and then we will have those up on iTunes like everything else that is SDConCast related goes up on iTunes and such. So look for that in a few days.
Same bat same bat station, same bat time, all that good
Something.
stuff.
Sanity,
Whatever it is.
draining.
Yeah. Whatever it is. Let's see here. Anything else? Oh, hey, Zombie Dino Walk. I'm kind of excited about this.
Yes.
So the Zombie Walk is back this year, and better than that, they are teaming up with Flexure Rex, which is basically a parade of those giant inflatable T-Rexes. So they're going to be walking together, which that information is also on our off-site calendar, but not going to lie, that sounds pretty freaking awesome.
It sounds pretty cool.
It does. I'm pretty excited about that.
Is for making it out to that this year, since I am planning on doing a lot of things like that.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Anything else? Do you guys have any more questions?
Twitter and Kay just asked when will Nerd HQ list events and location. We already know the location, right?
Yeah, it's at the Children's Museum. We have hours as well. What we don't have is basically sponsors, which they've been telling me is coming soon now for like 2 months. But it really should be coming soon at this point. And panels, which nothing ever changes, but the Nerd HQ panels don't get announced until after CCI's panels, mostly because a lot of what Nerd HQ does, all of what Nerd HQ does, depends upon like the schedules over there. So they kind of wait, they see who's coming, they plan their schedules, that kind of stuff. So all of that won't get announced until next week at the very earliest.
So I'm looking forward. Last year was their trial run at Children's Museum, and it went really well with their chip bracelets, provided you didn't put them on too tight, Carrie. And so I'm looking forward to see, how their second year there goes. I'm sure just improving on everything. The panel situation, the lineup was great.
Yeah, I know they're making a couple changes. I've talked to them about it. I can't post anything until they give me the okay, though, guys. I've been asked a couple times about that. But they are making some adjustments. So I think they are aware of what worked and what little didn't work last year, and I think that they are, as always, trying to give everybody the best experience possible.
Yep.
So, yep.
Dan Barry says that the Zombie Walk will also have the best Walking Dead cosplay group, one of the best Walking Dead cosplay groups called Real Guys. So look for that as well. So it's an addition of a specific zombie cosplay group into the Zombie Walk. So that's really cool. And
cool.
Another question we have from Gustavo is, any recommendations for preview night? I have plans for the rest of the days, but not sure what to shoot for that day. Well, there's less to do because it's preview night. You can try and get tickets to the Star Trek premiere. You can just go look at the floor if you have a lot of other plans that don't involve the show floor, because there's the only thing running in panel rooms is going to be the WB pilots. So you can go watch 4.5 hours, something like that, of TV pilots or premieres. So that's true. I mean, there's a few other offsites, but I mean, you can check it out on the offsite calendar. But it basically just depends on what you're doing the rest of the convention, and if you want to do something different, or if you just want to have a chance to expand on what you're already doing, like getting to the show floor and being, not having to run for a certain exclusive if you're not hunting those much, but actually just going out and hanging out on the show floor and seeing all the displays and things like that. So it's really just what you feel like doing. Any other questions? Let's see. I'm looking.
You look. I'm trying to get something to open.
Oh, okay.
Open.
Open.
So, like a lot of the, just a brief comment, like a lot of the concerts on that Embarcadero South, where Star Trek is going to be, you can also hear them from the street. So if you are not able to get in, you can still kind of be a part of it and,
Oh, hey.
hang out back there.
Speaking of concerts, starting this Saturday, every day for a week, we will be giving away 2 tickets to the symphony shows. Woo!
Cool.
Awesome.
There you go.
So that's another way you can attend.
That's Zelda and Final Fantasy?
It is indeed. It is indeed.
Cool.
Come on. Open.
Open.
Oh, I think it's going. Okay. Speaking of things to do on Wednesday night, we also have our party. Which, are you guys excited to hear who all is going to be giving you stuff?
Yeah.
I so. We have, if you include us, 25 companies on board this year, which is way more than we've ever had before, and I am super excited. And the level of quality that we have this year is like off the charts. So our official sponsors this year are Oni Press, who will be giving you guys comics, UCC Distributing, who will be giving everybody blind bag figures, Girl Gone Geek, Comic Cave Studios, which is a really big deal. And then for our giveaway and prize sponsors and all that stuff, Symbiote Studios has a ton of stuff that we're going to be giving away. Mattel has, I don't even remember at this point if it's 7 or 8 different brands.
Metric ton of stuff to give away.
Metric ton of stuff. It is pallets.
Plural.
Yes, plural. Our friends at the Ninja Bot, who are really cool graphic artists, Viz Media is giving us stuff. DoorDash is going to be giving us stuff. Codland is going to be giving us stuff to raffle off for you guys. Factory Entertainment is giving us all of their exclusives to give to you guys. Designed by Humans is going to be giving away some merch. The Symphony is also going to be giving away some tickets at our show. Hasbro, once again, we have the only Hasbro Fast Pass to get to their booth. You can bypass the line. Entertainment Earth has a ton of stuff that we are going to be raffling off, and the same with NECA. Warner Archive. Mondo is giving us a couple posters to give away to you guys. Gentle Giant is giving us some stuff. If you came last year, you might remember they gave us a couple of those really cool jumbo figures. So we'll have some cool stuff from them again. CineQuest, we have a really cool Supernatural pack from them this year. Biff Bang Pow, we have some stuff from them. Heroes of the Realm, which is one of the independent films that's there. You're going to get some stuff for that. Super 7, you're going to get some stuff from that as well. And then Skybound is also giving us all of their exclusives to give away. So
I just basically just sat back and listened to. I mean, that's
insane. It's
really
insane, and everybody gets sunglasses and buttons from us, so we contributed.
We do have a question on Twitter regarding the party from Christine. She asked regarding your party, when does the raffle start? Right at 7? We will be coming from preview night.
Okay. What?
The long
What did you
answer.
say?
I said no. It's not starting right at 7.
No, it's not starting right at 7, but it's not like we have, first of all, we have like 100 raffles to get
Limited time.
Yes. So it's not like we can like hold everything until 10. So probably starting roughly at 7:30, we'll start doing raffles every 30 minutes to an hour. We haven't totally worked out the exact timeline yet. But we will be giving away stuff all night. Don't worry. The really big stuff, like the Hasbro Fast Pass, we hold that till the end of the night. So it's not like we're going to give that away at like 7:05. So don't stress. And if you're not good with raffles, we also might have a couple of ways for you to win prizes through talent and skill rather than lotteries.
There you go. So, bonus.
Yeah, pretty much. And by that I mean we're going to have a trivia contest. So, should be fun.
So,
Let's hope.
Casey asked, all that stuff is for the enchantment party?
All of that stuff is for the enchantment party. Some of that stuff everybody's going to be getting in their goodie bags. Some of it is stuff that we will be raffling off throughout the night. Everybody who attends gets one raffle ticket. We're not doing minimum frills this year on the raffle tickets to make it easier for everybody, us included. But that means that everybody has an equal chance to win something. So it's going to be fun.
Yep.
And trust me, you will walk away with lots of stuff.
Yes.
Lots and lots and lots of stuff.
Well, if you don't win a single thing and you just leave with your goodie bag, I'm pretty sure you will walk away with more retail value than you paid to get in.
I'm pretty sure that's very accurate.
So, thank you to the generous donors and sponsors because they are the ones who made that possible.
Yes. So it's going to be a good night. We're really excited to see you guys on Wednesday, July 20th. And for the people who could not get tickets, first of all, I'm very sorry, and we are as shocked as you are that our tickets sold out in like 3 minutes this year. But don't forget that Prize Mule will be back, which is mostly me tweeting where a blue unicorn is around the convention center, and you can find it and get stuff. So you don't have to attend the party to get stuff. There's lots of other ways. We have 400 pairs of sunglasses, 300 buttons, and a ton of stuff from some of these companies as well to give away through Prize Mule. So don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. Let's answer 2 questions that we've been getting constantly, which is, no, we do not know when Conan tickets are going up.
No.
There has been no information on that. It is still all coming soon. And as soon as we know, we will make sure that it is tweeted and Facebooked and announced and everything so that everyone can go and try and get them. And the second is no, we do not know yet how Star Trek premiere tickets are being given out by Comic-Con. Because, well, I mean, you can enter one of the 15 billion contests that appear to be going on, but...
And everybody has one. Quicken Loans has one. What?
It's kind of insane. But we still don't have information on how you can actually get them from Comic-Con, which we're assuming is going to be hopefully the bulk of what is remaining after the contests and all of the Star Trek event people that got tickets like a month and a half ago or so.
We indeed do still hope that. However, I would like to reiterate once again, it is my understanding that what we're probably going to be looking at is about 500 tickets, each with a +1.
Right.
So don't put all your eggs in that basket. But good luck. Just let it be a nice surprise if it happens, but just don't bank on it.
Yeah, and you know the the third not most asked question, but we need to answer it anyway, which you kind of did, is no, there are no more tickets left for Enchantment, and is returning them, so we don't have any to resale.
No, but we'll be back next year, and again, Prize Mule. Prize Mule's awesome.
Even if you have to run out of the middle of the WB panel in Hall H, you will know where Prize Mule is, and you will be able to run out and get a prize if you're fast enough.
Maybe Prize Mule will be inside Hall H.
Prize Mule might. If that happens, it won't be this Prize Mule.
That Prize Mule helper. The
There you go.
assistants may be going into Hall H, but we'll see, because it may not be me either, because I'm not camping out this year.
That's right. Real quick, where is it? Oh, I don't see it now. But Jonathan said that he hoped that, here we go, the talent and skill portion of our party involves cans of corn. So, that's good. You've clearly been to Fun Days. All right. Anything else, guys?
I am not seeing anything.
We got that done in an hour. What?
I know.
What? Okay, so real quick, one more time. What we have remaining for a podcast schedule is Friday, same bat time, same bat channel. We will be doing our Wednesday through Friday panel podcast. Sunday at some point, we will be doing our Saturday, Sunday panel podcast. And then next Thursday is the last time that you will see our smiling faces until Comic-Con.
That's right.
We're almost there, guys. Isn't that terrifying?
Yes. It is actually a little bit. I actually finally started doing some planning this weekend, believe it or not.
Have you done any planning, Kim?
No.
I packed.
I know, right? 2
I
weeks
did
out.
start it. I'm lying. I did start a spreadsheet, and I put a day in there.
What'd you put?
I think I put. I don't remember. The party tickets that went on sale, that sold out. again.
Oh, the fandom thing.
Yeah, could have announced that, but it sold out already, so what's...
And
So don't put it
Meltdown
outside.
also went on sale, and I was able to get a few tickets to that. And of course, it's now not available, but there will be tickets at the door. We didn't talk about that, but
Yeah, but there will be tickets at the door, and it's free. So we like free.
that's at the American Comedy Company. And just look at the events list.
All right. So is that it for today? Are we calling it?
I think so. I thought we'd go for way longer than an hour, but look at that.
We condensed those exclusives down to like a third and named the remaining 50.
Yeah,
So many exclusives were announced in this last week.
it's a little ridiculous. And we're not done. Like, again, we still have more Hasbro. We still have more Funko. We still have more Gentle Giant. We still have more Toynami. We still have Tokidoki. We still have the rest of Marvel stuff. Oh, Marvel, today, they announced those Scotty Young pens are going to be back. Those were really hot last year. So, yeah. We'll be getting more of that still to come.
Sweet.
Yep, and if it holds true to last year, we got those on Tuesday before Comic-Con, I believe, because that was the dreaded day for me with the bird.
And the what is it like? What do they have? Like what, 30 or 40 different
Yes.
teams or something like that?
Yes.
That's crazy.
So I'll tell the story, then we can be done. Sorry. So last year, Tuesday, the day before the convention, Marvel sends us their press release for their exclusives. They're all PDFs, which means that I have to sit there and convert like 30 of them into JPEGs quickly. And while this is happening, in my office, there's a bird that's loose. And it's been loose all day. It's like 2 in the afternoon. And near me is a trash can, and I hear the bird jump into the trash can, so I grab a jacket and I throw it over the trash can. So I've now caught a bird. So I then have to pick up the trash can, take it outside, while this bird is like trying to escape from said trash can. By the time I get back upstairs, my hands are like shaking. I have to finish converting these stupid PDFs and then post.
And then catch a flight the next morning.
And then catch a flight the next morning. It was good. We're not doing that again this year.
You have no say in what the birds do, so I'm sorry.
Let's sincerely hope there are no birds in my future. All right. Well, anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in this evening. And
Thank you, everyone.
do you want to tell them about Uber, Kim?
Yeah, so if you guys do need to use Uber during the convention, it's a great way to just get around downtown. We do have, if you create a new account, $20 off your first ride, and the code is SDCCUblog, B-L-O-G.
You can also sign up for a newsletter, which I promise you we will actually start sending out again soonish. The link is in the show notes.
And there's lots of other news on our site in the daily under the tents column. I know you guys just posted the restaurant and events discounts that just came out. I think it was late last week, which is super helpful. And quite a few good discounts in there, coupons.
Correct. We also posted from Sean at Parks and Cons did a swag hunting tips and a Hasbro buying tips, so you can check those out on the site. But thank you all for joining us. Join us the remaining few shows coming up in the next week and a half. And Kim, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
I am Outside Comic-Con on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And Carrie, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
You can find me online at Carrie Dixon on Twitter. James, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
I am everywhere online at Dan Regal. You can check out geekshotphoto.com for the photography links for my wife and I. I also like to point out that we have a Instagram for the blog now, SDCC blog, and I'm going to try and actually Periscope on my personal Periscope a decent amount from the convention this year, since I'm planning on doing a variety of different things. So,
what?
Dan Regal on Periscope, and I will try and get as many different things up on Periscope as possible throughout the convention, pending signal and battery life.
Wow. We are on iTunes. If you'd like to subscribe, the links are up on the blog, or search for SDConCast. If you like what you've heard so far, please review us. We are also on Stitcher Radio. The link is in the show notes.
If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at sdcomiccon.blog@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/sdconblog, or tweet us at sd_comic_con. Thank you all for listening, and everybody, go
Shawarma!
crazy.